Hello everybody, I am Joel. We are Silver Arrow Cars. This is our 1995 Ferrari 456 GT. Important to mention, this is not a GTA. And what is a GTA? That is the automatic transmission version of this. This is a real deal, gated 6-speed V12 front engine 2+2 Ferrari, and it is pretty amazing in all of its 90s wonder. This car comes to us from a great client and a big car enthusiast. He has owned it for many years. The car has 14,000, let's be exact here, 14,831 miles. I'm gonna put some on it in our test drive, but stunning car in black over crema interior with also black leather insides, and it is pretty amazing. We've sold a couple of these recently, but I have never had the pleasure of having my hands on one, and the 90s styling of this is pretty incredible. It drives fantastic. It is definitely, these have been a sleeper for a number of years, and now that I think it's more normal and it's more of a common thing, certainly with the Pure Sangue, for 4-seat Ferraris. This car in the lineage of 2+2 Ferraris is pretty spectacular and now has aged beautifully. So as I said, the car has 14,800 and some odd miles. This is a US spec car. It has been in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada for a number of years and is now back in Washington State in our Blaine, Washington warehouse. We've titled this In Washington State. And just before we sent it down there, we had the car gone through and had a new fresh belt service at Ferrari Maserati Vancouver. We had them check over the car as well, and it is now sitting ready for, or has been repatriated to the USA and is ready for its next owner. So the 456, as I mentioned at the beginning or the top of the video, is powered by a 5.5 liter V12. It makes about 420 horsepower. And of course made it to the gated manual. They did make these in an automatic, and strangely, I can't even think of another car they did this way. The automatic version of this car actually had a normal torque converter style automatic transmission, which for a Ferrari and a V12 Ferrari is pretty weird. But that was one of the versions, and then of course the GT version, which is this car here. So gated manual, 6-speed, V12 front engine car. Very cool. The clamshell front hood, you can see, breaks apart here, made out of composite material. Big heavy front end that reveals that big 5.5 liter V12, which is really way better to drive than you're probably imagining. This car is yeah, it is a great car to drive, and very surprisingly actually. The 90s styling from the exterior of the car, both with the pop-up style headlights, which we're used to seeing from the 348s and the 355s of the similar era, I think are a stunning design. Of course, this is in the era of Pininfarina designed Ferrari, as opposed to currently where they do now all in-house. Beautiful lines, and to me, a little bit on the small side as far as being a 2+2. The rear seats are actually fairly usable. If you move those front seats up a little bit, beautiful bucket seats in the rear of the car, so you could actually be picking up kids from school. It's, you know, of course, a grand touring car. Now, I say grand touring, that brings me to the next point. This car does actually come with a Scudoni luggage, so it has a matched 456 Scudoni luggage that is in the trunk. So you have the two cases, both in their beautiful green bags. That comes along with the car, and of course it actually has, as far as things that come along with it, it's got its toolkit, it has its original owner's manuals, books, it comes with a beautiful binder with service records in it. It's a well-serviced car, and as I said, just came from Ferrari Maserati and had its belt service done. The exterior of the car presents extremely well. As I mentioned, I think maybe in our paint meter video, we know two things. We know for sure this door was painted. This was painted by the previous owner in Vancouver. He ended up getting a pretty good scratch in the side of the door, so he had that repainted. They did a great job, looks good. And then in his garage, or in a shop, I believe it was, is that the trunk lid, which is made out of aluminum, was dented. We've got a photo of that. So he sourced a brand new old stock Ferrari trunk lid and had that painted and installed. And we can, of course, provide the photos of the one that came off. It wasn't massive, but it was dented and he needed a new one. So we know those two panels were painted, but that is leading into the presentation of the exterior of the car, which is excellent all the way around, both from the condition of the paint everywhere, as free of chips, big scratches, none of that, all the way around the car, and full PPF over the whole front nose of the car, all the way down to the bumper. Massive front end, and so you can actually see a seam in the PPF, kind of runs down along these vents here. But exterior wise, both condition, wheels, paint, all the rest looks excellent. Condition of the wheels all the way around the car are excellent. These have been refinished in recent years. I will note that the center caps do have some spidering in the clear acrylic. There's been wheel spacers installed on the front and the rear to push those wheels out to give it that nice stance of almost flush with the body lines, but wheel condition all the way around. The center caps, I believe on all four wheels, do have some spidering to the caps. Tires are in great condition all the way around, date coded 17 and 18 for the rear. And then just to kind of finish off, there's just a little bit, this is very common on this era of Ferrari, on the metal window trim, there's just a little bit of kind of, it's aluminum, I believe. There's just a little bit of kind of bubbling in the paint of the window trim on the front. And then the rubbers all the way around the windows, all in great condition. Mirror caps as well. Going around to the passenger side, same thing. Same thing as far as great condition on the seals around the passenger windows. The window frame looks great all the way around. So just that little bit of bubbling, but not flaking off on that side. And then coming to the rear, looks great all the way around. The glass, the windshield looks fantastic. Does look to be the original glass with the Ferrari emblem on it. Same goes for the glass all the way around the car, all with the Ferrari insignia on them. The glass is near perfect. Small pitting, not chipping, but pitting right at the base here. But otherwise, very, very clear. The glass is in excellent condition. Very indicative of that 14,500-ish miles. Moving into the interior, which is arguably the best part. They're both pretty equally amazing, the exterior and the interior. Big door, being a 2+2. Some interesting things you'll see on the back of the door. There's actually a climate vent that vents into the rear seats, which is pretty cool. Power seat, the cream or crema leather interior, beautiful. Pretty typical for Ferraris of this age is you end up seeing some shrinkage in the leather dashes, and this one is incredibly not suffering from that at all. I can see just a tiny bit, which is very common, on top of the cluster, just right at the seam. But other than that, it looks phenomenal. Same with the doors, the leather in the doors, and the door handle going into the driver's seat. The condition is quite good across both the bolster, the seat cushion, the backrest. And then if we get into the rear, leather wraps pretty much everything in these cars. So everything from the center tunnel, center console, dash, headliner, rear seats, everything is all in rich Connolly leather, which is the leather that was used throughout Ferrari in this era and up to even newer cars. The rear package tray, all in black leather, but really, really great condition. The center console is pretty awesome for the rear seats. It's got a little ashtray that pops out and then a lid that has a storage bin. Probably my favorite part is the center console. The layout of the switches, the radio that does work, the factory Ferrari radio, the gauges, the analog gauges for both fuel, oil temperature, coolant temperature, clock, all of that is just very, really nicely done. I love it. It has a very 90s feel to it. Of course, seeing the gated manual in the center is a real treat. Everything works in the interior. We did test the air conditioning and is blowing cold, not ice cold. So we're gonna see if we can recharge that and get it ice cold before it lands to this final resting place. I believe in 95, this is probably R12. So we'll definitely check up with us on that. But when the car was delivered, it was blowing fairly cool. As I said, leather everywhere from your leather headliner. No switches are broken. There's no sticky buttons in this car. I don't think that was a thing at this point in time yet. And if it was, that they've been resurfaced. But all the switches across the center of the dash here, none of that is an issue on any of the window switches. All the switches, as I said, work in the center console. Now checking out over onto the passenger side, so the cushioning and just like the firmness of the bolsters and the seat cushions, all really good in the driver's seat, passenger seat, everywhere. Center console condition, the airbag. There's a little bit of just kind of I don't know if I want to call it shrinkage. Just there's just a gap here between the airbag cover and the dash. Still a lot better condition than you see on most cars. The leather isn't kind of peeling back, and you'll see that pretty clearly in the photos. Glove box fitment, no problem at all. That is all good. It's got 2 sets of keys. This is pre-immobilizer era. Door sill plates, carpets, the black carpets, everything is in really, really nice condition. Just before the car was brought over to us, the seats, this light leather interior was touched up slightly on, I believe, just the center console and the driver's seat and maybe the driver's door a little bit. They did a great job and looks great. So I'm not gonna pull out the luggage. We've already pulled out the luggage, and probably right now we're showing you the video of that luggage out of the bags, the protective bags. Beautiful Scadoni luggage, matching and labeled as a 456 luggage set. That is a massive bonus and probably value in the $15,000 to $20,000 range, just top of my head. I'm gonna open, I just wanted to show you this as to the size of this hood and the width of it, being that you don't have fenders coming up over for a hood to meet, which is why the PPF is kind of cut down the middle because it's such a massive piece. You'll see here on the underside, it's a composite material, and then that beautiful 5.5 liter V12. Condition-wise under the hood, really tidy. Interestingly, and I don't know why, but intake plenums on these cars did not receive that Rosso Corsa or that red or Ferrari red treatment in the crinkle paint to the intake plenums. It'd be interesting to know why they didn't do that in this era, but as far as everything else under the hood, everything looks really tidy. There's no weird corrosion happening. Nothing indicative of poor storage. Of course, at 14,500 miles, I wouldn't expect to see much at all, but either way, there you go. So there you have it. This is our US delivery 1995 Ferrari 456 GT. This is a gated manual car, which I think the number is about 2,200 were built for the world. as far as a gated car, they did make automatics. Those were called the GTA. So 14,000, roughly 500 miles. This is a US delivery car, originally delivered in New York, and has lived in Vancouver for a number of years. This is sitting in our Blaine, Washington warehouse, and we've titled it in Washington State. If there's any questions you have at all, please do reach out. We've listed everything we have and know about it on the listing for the car. It has a brand new or fresh belt service. It's got great service history. It has its original books and keys. It has matching Schedoni 456 GT luggage. Just a really sexy, amazing, gated manual V12 Ferrari 456. Please enjoy, and if you have any questions, please reach out.